Sebastian Vettel will retire this year. Maybe. Right, I know that sounds a bit far-fetched, but hear me out. So as you know, we had the Australian Grand Prix over the weekend, and that was Seb's first race of the season because he had COVID. So that meant he had to miss out the first two races. And from what I've seen, and I think everyone could agree that he doesn't seem to be the same guy. He seems like he doesn't seem to be enjoying the car. He crashed out in free practice 3 and he crashed out again during the race. And from his attitude alone, he doesn't seem to be happy. And could I blame him? Not really, because he's got such a tractor of a car. And this could be a worrying factor for Seb fans and Aston Martin, as it might be indicating his possible retirement this year. Now, for me to explain this, let me just give you a bit of context. So from 2009 to 14 in his Red Bull days, Vettel was an absolute animal. He won 4 world championships in a row, and he has the record for winning the most races in a season, 13 out of 19. He was a beast in his prime. And then when 2014 came along, new regulations, Red Bull were just really unreliable with the Renault engine. And he was, getting beaten by Daniel Ricciardo, so he decided to move to Ferrari. And what he wanted to do when he moved to Ferrari was to try and emulate his idol, Michael Schumacher, and being the next German driver to bring Ferrari their success in winning world championships. Unfortunately, that never materialised, but Seb was still the number 1 driver in the team. He was still winning races. But that was up until Charles Leclerc came along, and that's when the whole team dynamic changed. Leclerc was doing better than Vettel, he was younger, so the team decided to put their focus on Charles. And this is what caused Ferrari to end Sebastian's contract with Ferrari at the end of the 2020 season. Now, during this time in 2020, the Ferrari was a tractor, but there was a team called Racing Point who would be later renamed into Aston Martin in the following year, having an absolute stellar season, but fighting at the top of the midfield alongside with a pole position and a race win. When the team decided to drop Sergio Perez, this gave Vettel an opportunity, and it did. They signed him into the team, and he was sold the dream that he'd be fighting for podiums and possibly race wins week in and week out. And who could blame him, since we all thought that Racing Point could carry the same momentum into 2021, giving Vettel a possible chance to fight at the top again. And, well, the opposite happened. The car was slow, uncompetitive. I'm surprised how Seb managed to get a podium in Baku and almost a race win in Hungary. This was very surprising to see, because this was essentially the same team that went from fighting for podiums, always in the points every race, to fighting for 13th place. And a driver of Seb's caliber shouldn't be in that position. He should be up there fighting for race wins and possibly championships. And to be honest, I guess we all could have presumed that this was a one-off because of the new regulations that were coming in. And, well, here we are in 2022, and Aston Martin are one of the worst teams on the grid. They've become backmarkers, which is very unfortunate to see. It's not just Seb who isn't enjoying the car. His teammate Lance Stroll in Saudi Arabia was complaining a lot about the handling of the car. And this overall goes to show how bad the car is. I also remember seeing an article last year where they interviewed Vettel, and he said he doesn't really want to be fighting in the midfield. And seeing the performance of the Aston Martin this year, this could really point to one thing: retirement. And that's going to be sad to see. Seb's a character, he's such a nice guy, and he's a good talent. I think the guy's just, he's just used to winning. He's used to getting on the podium, always in the top 10, like I said. I think Aston Martin don't want to lose Vettel, not only because of the talent, but of how marketable he is, which is not surprising since he is one of the most popular drivers on the grid. Hence why when they make adverts for their road cars like the DBX, they use him as part of the promotion. So yeah, overall, Aston don't want to lose him because of the PR Sebastian has, but ultimately it's his choice, and if he doesn't have faith in the team or the car, I don't see him beyond 2022, which is going to be very unfortunate to see. Now, despite all of this, there is some hope, and that is car development. Aston Martin could possibly develop their car and possibly gain the points again, like with what we've seen with McLaren, because in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia they struggled, and then all of a sudden in Australia they're suddenly in the top 10 again. Aston Martin could possibly do the same, and hopefully they could, because if you give Vettel a good enough car, he'll perform, he'll bring home good results, and like what we've seen in the past, especially in his Red Bull days, he was unstoppable. And as much as I would love to see him win a 5th world title, it doesn't seem likely in my opinion, and he doesn't need to, because he's already made a mark on the sport. He achieved his goal by driving for Ferrari, and I don't think he really has anything else to prove in my opinion, However, this doesn't mean I don't want to see him fight at the top again, because I do, like who wouldn't? I'm just basing this from what I've seen from his attitude recently. Now, a driver who I want to compare him to is Fernando Alonso. The guy is literally 40 years old, 6 years older than Seb, and is still hungry for that 3rd world championship. The last time he was in title contention was in 2012, and even then the car was not as quick as his rivals, but somehow almost won the championship against Seb, funnily enough. He moved to McLaren in 2015 in hopes of success, but instead it was just years of pain. He quit the sport in 2018 and returned last year to try out the new cars, and so far he's showing good form. You see, the thing about Alonso is that he can extract every little bit of performance in every car he's in. Now you might be asking me, why am I bringing this up? Well, you see, it shows that Seb could stay in the sport for longer and possibly win a 5th world title. Could we get Alonso versus Vettel again? We just have to wait and see. But that is pretty much it of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and I feel like now, especially with what's been going on, I feel like now it's the perfect time to talk about this topic. I hope Aston Martin can fix their issues, because I don't want to see Sebastian Vettel retire, and hopefully we can see him at least see Vettel fight in the midfield. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.